हरि ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्यक्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरं भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ओम नमः शिवाय 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyam Devaah Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangaih Stushtvagam Sastanobhih Veshema Devahitayadayuh Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravah Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaah स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरि ओम। We will chant from mantra number 3, section 3. आत्मना एष प्राणो जायते यथैषा पुरुषे छाया एतस्मिन् एतत् आततं मनोकृतेन आयाति अस्मिन् शरीरे यथा सम्राट् एव अधिकृतान् विनियुक्ते एतान् ग्रामान् अधितिष्ठस्व इत्येवमेव एष प्राण इतरान् प्राणान् पृथक् पृथक् एव सन्निधत्ते पायूपस्थे पानं चक्षुश्रोत्रे मुखनासिकाभ्यां प्राणः स्वयं प्रातिष्ठते मध्ये तु समानः एष ह्येतत् हुतम् अन्नं समं नयति तस्मात् एताः सप्तार्चिषो भवन्ति हृदि ह्येष आत्मा अत्र एतत् एकशतं नाडीनां तासां शतं शतम् एकैकस्यां द्वासप्ततिः प्रतिशाखा नाडी सहस्राणि भवन्ति आसु व्यानश्चरति. So the third seeker approached Guru Pitpalada and he asked his question. And what was his question? कि भगवान कुतः एष प्राणो जायते? From where is this prana born? How does it come into this body? And how it divides itself into 5 and remains in the body? And why does it leave the body? And how it holds everything within and without? So the teacher replies, he says, Atmanah esha prano jayati. The prana is born from Atma. Prana, which is the very support of this entire creation, which pervades everything, which is very powerful. That prana is born from Atma. Atma means the Shuddha Atma, Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And how is it born? Like a shadow. Like a shadow is born, or like a reflection is born from a person. Similarly, this prana is born. And all activities happen because of prana. It enters a particular body depending on the past karmas. And having entered the body, it appoints all the different pranas in their respective places. Just like a king, when he takes over a kingdom, he appoints various officers to take charge of the different activities of the kingdom. Similarly, this prana, mukhya prana, divides itself into 5, which controls all the activities of the body as well as the senses and the mind. And it appoints these 5-fold pranas in their respective places. So, itaran pranan prathak prathak eva sannidhatte. So, payupaste apanam. In the organ of excretion and organ of urination, apan is appointed, apan vayu, because of which we are able to throw things out of this body. It's very powerful force due to which one can excrete, one can urinate the unwanted food and water is thrown out of the body. So that force which requires to throw out is apana, and it is stationed at the organ of excretion and urination. Then prana itself stays on the upper portion in the in the eyes, ears, mouth, and nostrils, and it does its function from there of taking in the breath and throwing out, etc. Also seeing, hearing. Then in between there is this samana vayu, which is stationed near the navel, and it balances both apana as well as prana and helps in digestion, and that the energy which is created is then distributed everywhere properly. Therefore, it's called samana. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan mentioned this in the 15th chapter. Pranapana sama yuktah pachamyannam chaturvidham. That I digest the food, becoming Vishwanara in the body by balancing prana and apana. So that samana remains in the middle portion. And Esha hetat utam annam samam nayati tasmat etas sapta chisho bhavanti. And the energy which is generated by this food and all, it rises up and expresses through the senses, the seven holes which are there, the eyes, ears, nostril, and the mouth. Through that, as though the fire comes out. Now, in the sixth mantra, the teacher points out the position of Jnana Vayu. We will chant the mantra again. Hridhi esha atma atra etad ekashatam nadinam tasam shatam ekasyam dvasaptatihi pratishaka nadi sahasrani bhavanti asu vyanascharati. Hridhi esha atma. The atma is present in the hridaya, in the heart. See, the atma, Shuddha atma is all pervading. It is not confined to any particular place. Shuddha atma is the Brahma, is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, is all pervading, is present everywhere. But to realize that atma, we have to enter our heart, means it is realized near our physical heart only, where we experience the sense of I. Therefore, it is said that Atma resides in the heart. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan says, the Ishvara resides in the heart, Atma resides in the heart. Because Ishvara and Atma are one and the same. So Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshe arjuna aham atma gudakesha sarva bhutashaya stitaha. Like that. So here the Atma is experienced along with the upadhis, along with the Sukshma Sharir. So what we experience as ourself, along with the Sukshma Sharir, is the Jivatma, which is experienced along with all the upadhis, along with the Linga Deha. So that Linga Deha is also in our heart. And from there, lot of nadis as though come out, in which the Vyanavayu it moves. So atra etad ekashatam nadinam. So from the heart, all these nadis they come out. Shankaracharya writes, Hriday esha pundarika akara mamsa pinda parichinne hridaya akasha esha atma atmana sanyukto lingatma. So lingatma, the linga deha along with atma residing in the heart. Atra asmin hridaya etat eka shatam eka uttara shatam sankhya pradhana nadina bhavati iti. And from there, the main nadis they come out. So there are 101 main nadis. Nadis means channels, nerves through which the prana moves. Because for the pranas to move also there should be some channel. So it moves only through those channels. So there is that one nadi, Sushumna nadi, and there are many other nadis, so Ida, Pingala. So there are 100 other nadis, main nadis are there. And each of these 100 nadis, again they have 100 more branches. Each of them have 100 branches, and each of these 100 branches, then further they have 72,000 branches. So one nadi is the main, then there are 100 other main nadis, and each of them they have 100 branches, and each of these 100 branches they have 72,000 branches. So just imagine a complex and complicated but systematic capillary system like this nadi system is there in this body. If you just visualize the whole nadi system, it will be like this rays as though coming out from the main channel. And in this all this thousands of this capillary nadi system, Vyanascharati, Vyanavayu, it moves. So Asu Nadishu Vyanaha Vayuscharati Vyano Vyapana. It is called Vyana because it pervades everything. So every cell, every part of the body is connected to this Vyana. So Vyana is there touching everything and supplying that energy to every part of this body and also to the Sukshma Sharir. So Aditya Iva Rashmayo Hridaya Sarvato Gamini Bihi Nadi Bihi Sarvadeham Samvyapya Vyano Vartate. Just like from the sun, millions of rays they come out and spread everywhere. In the same way, from the Mukhya Nadi, these millions of other branches of nadis come out, and through them, this powerful force called Vyana, it moves. So all activities of the body and the mind is possible because of this Vyana only, because it pervades and handles everything. Every cell functions and everything functions in the body because the Vyana is present there, supplying that energy. So Sarva Deham Samvyapya Vyano Vartate, pervading the entire body, it is there. Such an amazing system is there. This body is like a great wonder. We move around the world trying to see the wonders of the world made by human beings. But more wonderful is this wonder made by Bhagwan himself. The human body is the most fascinating equipment. So this Vyana is present everywhere in the joints, in the main organs. So Sandhiskanda Marma Desheshu Visheshena Prana Apana Vrityo Cha Madhya Udbhuta Vrittir Virya Vat Karma Karta Bhavati. So this Vyana pervading everything becomes the main energy which helps in performing all karmas. So that is Vyana. Now, the most fascinating and the most subtle Vayu is Udana. And about that Udana, now the teacher says in the next mantra, mantra number 7. अथ एकयोर्ध्व उदानः पुण्येन पुण्यं लोकं नयति पापेन पापम् उभाभ्याम् एव मनुष्यलोकम्. Again, अथ एकयोर्ध्व उदानः पुण्येन पुण्यं लोकं नयति पापेन पापम् उभाभ्याम् एव मनुष्यलोकम्. Now this Udana Vayu, very fascinating, not understood by modern science and all. This Udana Vayu, it moves in that main nadi called Sushumna Nadi. This Sushumna Nadi is the most fascinating nadi, which is main nadi which passes through our this vertebral column, connecting our head to the feet. This nadi is there, which is the main nadi, the primary roadways, like the path leading to the king, the Rajpath, which leads all the way to the king. So like that Sushumna Nadi is there. And this, in this Sushumna Nadi, that Udana Vayu, it functions. And this Udana Vayu controls or gives energy to our Antakarana. Antakarana mainly gets the energy, power from this Udana Vayu. And in order to do subtle thinking also, we require this energy of the Udana Vayu. And especially if one wants to meditate, that meditation also is possible when that proper energy is supplied by this Udana Vayu. If that Udana Vayu is not properly handled, activated, we will not be able to even meditate. So it's a very subtle this Vayu, Udana Vayu, and it moves in that Sushumna Nadi. That is its pathway. In all the other nadis, the Vyanamos and the other pranas, they move pranapan, Vyan, Saman. But in the Sushumna, the Udana Vayu, it moves. And great yogis and all, they have understood and they have mastered these Pancha Pranas. So those who master this Pancha Pranas, understand and master this Pancha Pranas, that sadhana is that pranayam, to control and to master the Pancha Pranas, and through that they can master this Udana Vayu also. And on this channel itself, there are all these Shakti Kendras are there. The various points where the energy gets concentrated, the hubs. Like in a city also, there are various places where the buses or the local transport they assemble there. So there are hubs, or even in the flights, there are various airports which are like hub. Most of the flight they land there and take off from there. So similarly in our body, in these nadis, there are those hubs where the energy are concentrated. They are called the chakras. So there are the 7 chakras are there, through which so Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Visuddhi, Ajna, and Sahasra. So all the chakras are concentration of this energy. It's a different science altogether. And they are connected to the Sushumna Nadi. So those great yogis, they master this Nadi and the Vayu, and they are able to raise their awareness slowly from the basic chakra and goes all the way up, and they recognize that Supreme Brahma who can be realized by following this path shown by the great yogis also. So this Udana Vayu is very fascinating, and its role is also there when one dies. So here the teacher mentions that he says Punyena Punyam Lokam Nayati. This Udana Vayu, a person who has done a lot of Punya Karma, it takes the Sukshma Sharir to the Punya Loka, Punyam Lokam Nayati. So the person, the Jiva, along with the Antakarana, along with the mind, along with the senses, and this prana, it goes to the higher world, taken by this Udana Vayu. Because just like it requires a power to enter the body, a power is required to exit from the body also. So we have seen in the Chandogya Upanishad that how the Rishi mentions how the death also happens, that first the karmendriyas get withdrawn into the antakarana, but the mind is active, the senses are active. Person who is on the deathbed stops speaking, but he is aware of the people around. He looks here and there, but is not able to express. Then the senses also get withdrawn and into the mind. Then that person is not aware of the external world at all. Then the all this vayus also gets withdrawn from their respective places, and uh, the the Udan Vayu, along with all these other factors of the Sukshma Sharir and the Indriyas, etc., taking the support, taking the covering of the heat, it comes out of this body. So when a person is dying, one touches the body, if the body is warm, they say that he is still there, but then suddenly the body turns cold. That means taking the heat, the Udan Vayu, along with all these other faculties of the Sukshma Sharir, leaves this body. And once it leaves the body, it takes the Sukshma Sharir along with that all the karmas and vasanas which are there, depending on that, goes to the Punya Loka. If there is a lot of Punya, one goes to Punya Loka, Swarga Loka, etc. But if one has performed or done a lot of Papa Karma, then one goes to Papa Loka, Naraka, etc. So अथ या तो तत्र एकशतानां नाडीनां मध्य ऊर्ध्वगा सुषुम्नाख्या नाडी तया एकयोर्ध्व सन् उदानः वायु आपादतलमस्तक वृत्तिः संचरन्. So Shankaracharya writes that in this Sushumna Nadi, right from the feet to the head, in the Sushumna Nadi, the Udana Vayu moves upward. And Punyena Karmana Shastra Vihitena Punyam Lokam. So when one does a lot of Punya Karma, and what are Punya Karma? Those which are prescribed by the Shastra, they are called Punya. Not anything which comes to our mind. Those which are prescribed by the Shastras and we do according to that, those are called Punya Karma. Some people actually use their own head and think that, oh, this is Punya Karma. For example, the Shastras, they mention Shraddha Karma, that you have to perform this ritual and offer all this through this mantra to the forefathers. But there are those who don't have proper faith and they will say, oh, I don't want to do this karma, they will just donate to some poor people and all. Okay, that is also good. One should donate and one should serve the poor and other needy. But that doesn't make it a Shraddha karma. Shraddha karma is different. It has to be done according to the guidance given in the Shastra. So when we follow the Shastra, we acquire a lot of Punya karma, and with that Punya, we go to the Punya Loka. So Punyam Lokam Devadi Sthana Lakshanam, where the Devta stay, like Swargalo, Nayati, Prapayate, Papena Tad Viparitena, Papam Narakam. So when we perform Papa Karma, then we go to a lower world like the Naraka, or are born in lower yonis like the animals and all. So Tirya Yonyadi Lakshanam. Ubhabhyam Samapradhanabhyam Punya Papabhyam Eva Manushyalokam Nayati iti Anuvartate. And if the Papa and Punya are more or less balanced, then again we are born as human beings. And all the journey is handled by Udana. Udana takes, because for every movement there has to be a force. Without that force, movement is not possible. Just like if you want to move one object from one place to another, we have to apply some force. Similarly, if I want to think, that is also movement. For thinking also force is required. And even if I want to stop thinking or lead my thoughts towards one particular direction during meditation and all, that also requires that force. So that is supplied by the Udana Vayu. But after that also the Sukshma Sharir is taken from one place to another place by the Udana Vayu. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan gives example of the wind. It takes the fragrance of the flowers from one place to another place. Vayor gandhani ivashaya. Just like the Vayu takes the gandha of the flowers from one place to another. Similarly, the Udan Vayu takes the Sukshma Sharir from this body to other lokas or into another body. So that is the fascinating Udana Vayu. So just as this Pancha Pranas, they work in this body, but prana is not only limited to this one body. Prana is pervading the entire creation. It supports the entire creation. So even all the activities which are happening in this body is controlled by that cosmic prana only. Just like we have our mobile, though we have everything in the mobile, but the internet and all is controlled from outside. If the Wi-Fi is not working or the data is not there, then the internet will not work. Though the phone is there, everything is there, it is alive, it is fully charged, but there is no internet connection, then it will just be function in a local way. Suppose I want to send a message to my friend abroad. There should be some connection, there should be some force which can carry that message from this place to that place. Similarly, if one wants to go from this body to the other lokas, some power, some force is required. That is the udana. It takes us from one body to another body, one loka to another loka. And all this is controlled by the cosmic prana also. So just as we have pranas functioning in this body, it is connected to the pranas functioning in the entire creation. So how that prana holds or activates the outer world, that is being mentioned now in the next mantra. So let us chant mantra number 8. आदित्यो हवै बाह्य प्राणः उदयति एष हीनं चाक्षुषं प्राणम् अनुगृह्णानः पृथिव्यां या देवता सैषा पुरुषस्यापानम् अवष्टभ्य अन्तरा यत् आकाशः स समानो वायुर्व्यानः. So here in this mantra, the Rishi is talking about the prana, apana, samana and vyana at a cosmic level, how they function. So it says Adityo have bahya prana. The Aditya, the Surya Bhagwan is the outer prana. Surya, Aditya is the outer prana. Just like we have the prana in our eyes, ears, nose and mouth, and because of which we are able to breathe in and breathe out. We are able to see, hear, taste, touch. Similarly, that prana is there outside in the Aditya, in the Surya Bhagwan. So Adityo havai prasiddho. हि अधिदैवतं बाह्यप्राणः स एष उदयति udgacchati. So this, the sun rises outside and it activates the pranas within also. So esha hi enam adhyatmikam chakshushi bhavam chakshusham pranam prakashena anugrunhanaha रूप उपलब्धौ चक्षुष आलोकं कुर्वन् इत्यर्थः. So the sun rises and spreads its light and heat in the entire region, and it activates the pranas in our eyes also, because of which we are able to see. Without the blessings of the sun, we will not be able to see. Without the connection of this prana inside this body, connecting to the prana in the sun, we will not be able to see. Again, the same example we can take about our mobile. It has to be connected to the server outside. If there is no connection, then the activity of interacting with other beings and all other mobiles will not happen. So the outer is connected to the inner. The outer controls the inner. The samashti controls the veshti. Hiranyagarbha, who is born, the first born from that Brahma. So Hiranyagarbha is one who is handling this prana, samashti prana. And from Hiranyagarbha is born Vaishvanara. So Vaishvanara also handles this samashti prana of all the beings. So when I say I am walking, I can walk only if the blessings of Hiranyagarbha, Vaishvanara is there. It appears as though as an individual is performing this action, but behind this individual, the Shakti of that Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha is there. Therefore, in Gita, Bhagavan just hints at this, that when we eat food, who digests our food? That Vaishvanara. Aham Vaishvanara bhutva prananam dehamashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham. I myself becoming Vaishvanara, present in your body, digest the food there. See, when we look at the waves rising and falling in the ocean, who is making the waves rise and fall? Where is the energy? Where is the power? If you just focus your attention only on the local one wave, you might feel that the power is there in that wave. Such a powerful wave, it is rising and it is falling down. But the wave is getting all this energy, all this power from the entire ocean. Without the ocean, the wave cannot rise. Similarly, all the activities which are happening in our body, the physical activity, the mental activity, is possible because of the samashti power and force handled by Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha. So here the connection of the Veshti with the Samashti is pointed out. Ki Adityo Havai Baihya Prana. Aditya is the outer prana, and when he rises, the eyes, the prana in the eyes also rises and is able to perform its function. Chakshusha alokam kurvan ityartha. So eyes can see. because of the blessings of the sun. तथा पृथिव्याम् अभिमानिनी या देवता प्रसिद्धा सैषा पुरुषस्य अपानवृत्तिम् अवष्टभ्य आकृष्य वशीकृत्य अध एव अपकर्षणेन अनुग्रहं कुर्वती वर्तत इत्यर्थः. Again now apana. Apana moves downwards. It is a force which throws things out of our body. Apana, if we have drunk a lot of water, we want to urinate. If we have eaten too much, we want to excrete those things. So, in order to throw them out, that force is there which throws them out. But that force is possible, it functions because the gravitational force is there which is pulling it. If that gravitational force is not there, pulling us down, we will not be able to excrete or urinate also. So nowadays, these people, they travel in space, the astronauts and all. They go up in the space, they leave this earth, so the force of the gravity becomes very less, so they almost float in space in their vehicle. If they want to move from one compartment to the other, they just as though fly like Superman. And even because there is no understanding of what is down and what is up, because the body is totally floating at zero gravity. See, we know this is down because we are pulled down. So where we are pulled, we know that is down. But in that zero gravity, there is no pull in any direction. So there is no concept of what is down and what is up. And in such zero gravities, the body also doesn't function properly. They have trouble even in doing the regular physical activities like excretion or urination or eating or exercise. It becomes difficult because there is no control, there is no outer pull. But here on earth, this apana vayu functions because the force of gravity pulls it down. See, this is mentioned in our Upanishad about the gravity, and all the modern science understood just few years ago, some centuries ago. But it is mentioned here in the Upanishad. And Shankaracharya ji in his commentary, he writes about it. What we have given credit to Newton's law of gravity and all we say, Shankaracharya ji mentions about it just casually in his Bhashya, much before this Newton was born. In his Bhashya, Shankaracharya ji says, कि एवं अपकर्षणेन अनुग्रहं कुर्वती वर्तत इति अपान वृत्तिम् अवष्टभ्य आकृष्य वशीकृत्य तथा पृथिव्याम् अभिमानिनी या देवता. So the devata which is there, so the style of expressing is different in our shastras. So this whole Prithvi is a devata only. So that devata who is there within this Prithvi is as though pulling us down. the Prithvi Devata is pulling us down, and therefore it is possible for this apana to function. Shankaracharya writes further, कि अन्यथा, if this pull was not there, which we understand as the gravitational pull, he says if that pull was not there, अन्यथा ही शरीरं गुरुत्वात् पतेत्. If that pull was not there properly balanced, then either the body will just fall down or it will start flying in space. It will just go and escape. Gurutva patet sa avakashe va udgachet. If the gravitational pull was not there, we would just fly in space. We are held toward this earth because of that pull. So this very fascinating. So that gravity is mentioned here in the Upanishad, which helps the apana. So the apana in the body is controlled by the gravitational pull of this earth, and the prana is controlled by the sun. But what about samana? So that is also said. Yad antara yad akashah sa samana. So the akash between the sun and the earth, that space which is there between the sun and the earth, which is called antariksha. They have this antariksha yan and all. So within this solar system, the space is called antariksha. When we leave the solar system, then we go into outer space. When we leave the gravitational pull of the sun, then we will go into outer space. Human beings have not yet succeeded in sending any vehicle outside the gravitational pull of the sun. Actually, 2 voyagers are moving away and away from the sun, but they have not reached very far yet. It will take thousands of years to go out of the range of the sun. The star which is closest to the sun is 4 light years away. It is as far as it takes for the light to reach in 4 years. So, anyatha hi shariram gurutva patet sa avakashe yo utkacha. So the space in between the earth and the sun is like samanaha. So yad akashaha sa samanaha, that is saman, outer saman. Just like inside we have the one which is balancing the prana and the apana is the saman. Similarly, that space which is in between the sun and the earth, which is balancing these 2 forces as though, is samana, outer samana. And vayus vyanaha, and the vayu, the air which is moving in this space everywhere is vyana, the outer vyana. These are also technical details which are very interesting, and those who follow the yogic path of pranayam of Kundalini Jagran, of activating the chakras and all, they know about all this in detail. Then the teacher talks about Udana, the outer Udana Vayu. In the next mantra, he says, Tejo Hava Udanaha Tasmat Upashant Tejaha Punar Bhavam Indriyahi Manasi Sampadyamanaihi. Tejo Hava Udanaha Tasmat Upashant Tejaha Punarbhavam Indriyahi Manasi Sampadyamanaihi. So the outer heat which is there in this outer space, in the space around, the heat which is there. See, just as we have the heat here on the earth, as we move away from the earth also, the air is heated, and even if we go far away, there's some sort of heat is there. If a vehicle which has gone out in the space, when it tries to enter back on earth, then it encounters all this Pancha Mahabhut also, the space, then air, then the heat, then water, and finally it lands on earth. So that heat which is there around, which is pervading everywhere, which is very subtle, is the Udana, outer Udana, which controls the inner Udana. The outer Udana, which controls the inner Udana. So Tejaha Hava Udanaha. So the heat which is there in the body, in our body, that heat also is required for this Udana Vayu to function. But when the prarabdha of this person is over, then the heat from the body is also withdrawn, is pulled out, and enveloping in that heat, that Udana Vayu carries the Sukshma Sharir out of this body. So the teacher says, ki Upashanta Tejaha. So when the Teja, the heat in this body goes away, when the body becomes cold, when the Teja has gone, then Punar Bhavam Indriyahi Manasi Sampadyamanaihi. Then taking the senses which are withdrawn into the Antakarana, the Udana Vayu takes this Sukshma Sharir to give it another birth in higher loka, lower loka, or in some other body. So it gets another birth. So more about this we will see in our class on Wednesday. So till then you take care. You listen to the pravachan again, because this topic is little complex and lot of details are there. So you might have missed in your first when you listen to it first time. So listen to it again, and we will meet on Wednesday. Till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and see you all on Wednesday. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. श्री राम जय जय राम, 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 जय जय राम, जय जय राम। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र राम की जय। ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।